Alright, today, start off with, I've got the little notebook here, lots of little tickets in it, all about legislation. Today I just want to carry on about video 5 just for a little bit, right? About naming people and accusing them of crimes. Now, Federal Agent Egan, I know this for a fact, I was out at sea and a Bundaberg police officer was trying to serve an order on me. By the time I got back from sea, he tried to serve this order on me a few times, so you would have rung him up and asked why the order hasn't been served on me. Alright, the day I went to court, I was going to leave Bundaberg to go to a court, a workplace order which I got legislation on beside me. The Bundaberg police officer, because he couldn't contact me personally, he actually rang me up. And when he rang me up, I was actually on my way to the Bundaberg airport to jump on a plane. Now when I got to Bundaberg airport and stayed there for an hour, went through baggage, they searched me. Got to Brisbane, same stuff, they searched me. Don't know why, because someone was watching everywhere I'm going. The Bundaberg police officer told you that I was going to Canberra to go to court, because that's what I told him. I didn't lie to him. Alright, that's just proven me exactly right on what you did. I've done that so you can't get out of it. I've just fucking proved you wrong, right? I just got a little bit here. Right? Think about the balance of probabilities of what you've done. And everybody else involved. Alright? This is what the courts run on. I can guarantee you that. Alright? And a jury and everything else, don't forget, they run on beyond reasonable doubt, and I think I've proved myself beyond reasonable doubt that you're a criminal. Doesn't matter. That's why I'm talking about that, because of the workplace order. Mate, I've got your legislation, right? Australian Capital Territory, current acts, Domestic Violence and Protection Orders Act 2008, Section 16. Clearly specifies it. You should know this stuff. You've been trained to read legislation, right? And I've got the meanings of some words like all legislation has got. In the legislation of the Child Support Agency, they tell you exactly what the penalties are if you break the law. You know what the penalties are if you break the law, and you should get served maximum penalty because you know the law. You broke it. Alright? Just want to get onto that, that's alright. I've got some other things here. This is actually legislation. I just want to say one thing. I'm not picking on the Department of Human Services. Not at all. Some little bits of it I don't like. Child Support Agency, that's what my main beef is. The Child Support Agency and the Family Law Act. One thing I have got a beef about is Veterans Affairs. You have a look under section 72AC. Anybody that has served in combat and go to war and serve combat overseas, they don't come back the same person as they left. Their marriages break down, shit happens, right? Don't go and start hassling them for child support. They should be exempt. That's common sense. Something you never get taught in school. That's why I call everybody like yous idiots, educated idiots. Alright, that's without even looking at my little book. Straight off the top of my head. 87A. I'll have a look at this one. 87A. 87A, here it is. Alright. If a dispute is not resolved with the registrar and one of the other parties, which payer or payee, the registrar must apply to the AAT for a review. And from the AAT, you'll go to the family court. And from the family court, you go to the Supreme Court. And from the Supreme Court, you go to the High Court. Simple fact. That's another one. Alright, now I just want to go to 117 and 118. I'll find them in my little book. So 117, which should be here. 117. Like, I read this one and I couldn't really understand it, but it was about the registrar, if he wants to appear or not appear or whatever, doesn't matter, right? If the registrar doesn't appear at a court, right, that's his own stupid fault, because he's let all these other people work under his name and his responsibilities, so therefore he's still responsible for everybody's actions. This person wouldn't even talk to me. Right? And 118. Right, 118. It states something about being juridical. Right? Notice of the signature of a person who holds or has held the office of the registrar, right, must be noticed. Right? So everything has to be signed by everybody. If these people work for the Child Support Agency and they don't even know their own legislation, like I haven't even got into the last other bits, right, there's a lot of legislation that you've got to go by, not chase it around for ages. Child Support Agency put me on the dole, I get bored, this is what I've done. So, cop it sweet, you made me do this, you made me stay in front of the camera. That just simply fact says that you cannot say an electronic signature is viable. So, got other stuff here. I've got a little bit of, got a star behind this one. Alright, I got arrested in the ACT. I reside in Bundaberg. Cost me $2,500 every time I went to the ACT. Alright, this is what they've got to abide by. Corresponding state laws. Right, and then you got 1, 2, 3, and it comes down. Act binds the crown. The crown is actually the Queen. So I'm still trying to work out who's responsible for anything here. The further I'm digging, the worse it's getting. Yous people have got law degrees. I'm a fisherman from Bundaberg, a commercial fisherman, for Christ's sake. You should be ashamed of yourselves. What else have I got here? Oh. Incorrectly keeping of records the way you threaten small business. Alright? Down the bottom, in a prosecution of an employer for an offence against subsection 1, it is a defence if the employer proves that the employer did not know or could not reasonably be expected to have known. Right? Yous are the Child Support Agency. You should know the legislation. Yous are responsible for their legislation. This says to me, if the employee or the worker for him doesn't want to give him any information and can't get it, well, too bad. Right? We'll get into evidence and all that soon, right? And evidence, this is what I've worked on. It's under a section, I'll give you the number and all that, because it would be in my little book here, but I just haven't got my little number tag, because I've crossed everything off just to make sure that I don't go over things twice unless they need to be going over twice. So once everybody starts getting into it, stuff will start happening. So, I've got one more little beef before I go today. Alright, I want to go back to legislation 110X. Alright, 110X. This is restrictions on publications. Alright, now this is where a current affair, and I'm going to name everybody that's been involved in this shit by trying to hide crap and being untruthful, because I can tell you one thing, truth beats lying. If you're a good liar, mate, you got to have a good memory. I'm not even lying, but I can remember back when I was like 7. My dad told me in the truck, mate, just watch out what you do in your life, because it will come back. If you do the wrong thing, it will come back and bite you on the ass. Like 1 day later, 1 week later, could be a year later, could be 10 years later. And I tell you what, he's right. He died 12 months after the day I went to jail, which was the 29th of April, which I hope it didn't make him die because of the stress, because I went to jail. He knows I'm a law-abiding citizen. Right, this is about a current affair, specifically Tracy Grimshaw. You let these dirty, grimy grubs get on your program, call us all deadbeat dads, and don't forget, hey, I am a dad, and I'm not a deadbeat, and we're talking in my space, not anybody else's space, so I've got to have a little drink, which is Great Northern. Good on you, Great Northern. I only drink the original stuff. Right? You get on there, you let them do this, and you let them call us really bad names, they bully us. Right? You wouldn't believe on what they do to us. And I'm not just talking about the fathers. They do it to the mothers, but you let them do it. They get on there, tell their story. You do not let anybody defend themselves. Alright? As in, we're not allowed to, because it's in that legislation that you're not allowed to speak to us. I know. And one of the most disappointing things that I've ever come across, right? I did go to jail. I went to jail in the Alexander McConaughey Centre in Canberra. I was locked up in the Accommodation Unit North. Who was in that Accommodation Unit North with me? Right? Just a little bit of a background. Don't forget, I'm a fisherman. I can prove exactly how much time I spend out at sea. So I did not even know anything about this bloke, any of his crimes or anything like that. Right? I heard out of his mouth. Now seriously, last night you named him again, which is ridiculous. Marcus. I'm not going to say his last name. You'll know who I'm talking about. He killed his wife with the axe. Have you even asked him anything? Did he run away from his crimes? Did he go and hold a seizure so he didn't get arrested? No, he sat out the front of the house. Alright? Admitted to everything he did. Goes to court. So the family don't go through the trauma of a trial, he pleaded guilty. Right, in any other state, you get 20 years for murder. Don't care, right? Everybody gets 20 years. You's criticised him, you's done trial by media, you have Tara's dad on your program. Sorry, Mr. Kerrigan, but like I'm a dad too, and I would protect my daughter, and I'd probably feel exactly the same way as you if it happened to me. But you got to think of the fact and the way the courts rule, right? When he goes there and does all that thing, pleads guilty and does everything, admits to what he does. I talked to him in jail and I said, do you want to get help getting out of jail, Marcus? And he said no. Maybe you should go and talk to Marcus face to face and actually hear something instead of listening to people. Exactly, in all this court situation, this is just all he says, she says shit. I've got evidence. So, I don't know, I'm going to sit back, because I had yesterday off. I'm going to sit back and just think about it and maybe go through my videos, because I haven't even watched any of my videos that I've done. You know I'm freeballing it, and I only put my glasses on when I try and read something. So I'm a real person. So, I don't know, by the time the government gets their hands on this, or even starts looking at it, right, bad luck, it's too late. Right, you're going to go into, shutdown mode like the Australian cricket team. Like, what the fuck? What just happened? I can't believe this. Listen to all the old cricketers on what's happening. And when the ministers get involved, and this is one minister that I'm really pissed off at, right? Tanya Plibersek. If you got consorting rules against bikies, you as a politician definitely can't consort with a fucking convicted criminal. And the convicted criminal, I'd hate to say, is a drug trafficker. Now, everything I'm saying, like, all you people should fucking start thinking about what yous are doing instead of playing games in fucking Parliament. Brian, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? You're 84 years old.
Absolutely.
Right, so let's start thinking about it and start getting mediation happening. I didn't want to do it out in the public. He's made me, remember? I don't know. Oh, it really got me stuffed on what you people think. Go and jump on a trawler and see what legislation Mother Nature's got to deal up with you. You can't sit out there and cry. Be a big boy. Take responsibility for your actions. That might spin people out, but hey, a life's a life. It's worth protecting any life. Just think about what I'm doing and everything like that. Like, hey, protecting people. The stress they put me under, I could be classed as PTSD too, alright? I'm a strong person. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Mate, I've been to jail. I've been ridiculed. I've been lied to. Nobody lies to me, because fucking, I hate liars, and I hate fucking thieves. That's serious, but you're in my space a little bit. I thought, well, I've got to speak a little bit in my own language, so until maybe tomorrow, radio, see you later.